Welcome in, everybody, to Leading Off right here on Fantasy Pros. It is me, Joey P, Joe Pisapia. That, of course, is Dinger Dan Harris, and it's you. And we're talking all things baseball this morning, as we always do, here on Fantasy Pros MLB. Make sure you subscribe to the MLB channel, and don't forget to click that little notifications button, because I'm sure, even when the off-season's going on, there's a good chance that at least I'm going to pop on here and have some thoughts about some signings, some free agent stuff, some CBA stuff. Who knows? Winter meetings. Maybe there'll be some fun things this year. Anything's possible. Last night, a wacky night in baseball, I would say, Dan, and a nice return to the major leagues for Joe Adell.
Yeah, Adele was great. Very exciting. I don't know if it was his best game yet in the major leagues, but it was good. This is exciting for me because I expressed some pessimism, as Danny Downer likes to do. But if hopefully he can come up and kind of break this thing that we've been seeing where people from AAA, kids from AAA come up and they really struggle for at least this year in the majors because probably they missed all last year. So really good. We had a catcher balk. We had all sorts of weirdness going on. So it was a good night.
Yeah, that was definitely a weird moment there, and I love that Casale tried to argue his way out of it. That was very fun, and he made up for it. He did hit a dinger in that game too. That was at least he tried to make up for that. But yeah, every day in baseball, right? You said it last week. There's always something you've never seen before, no matter how many games have been played, thousands and thousands and thousands of games. But let's get to some of the ups. Lance McCullers fans 9 and a win over the Dodgers. So there was your upset special a little bit. Also, 20 games for Jordan Alvarez in the outfield, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Oh, that's exciting. Miguel Cabrera launched his 498th career home run. He's still like 50 plus hits away from 3,000, so he'll probably, I guess, next year or at the beginning of next year. I don't think he's gonna. I mean, that would be quite a tear if he does that. Also, Joe Adell impresses, 3 hits in that debut. Jared Kelenic also went yard yesterday too. So maybe, just maybe, the kids are all right after all. Dan, I think that Adell strikes me, and watching him swing the bat, I got to see some of the clips this morning of him. I like the downward trajectory of the swing that he's got now. Yeah. He's hitting line drives, hitting balls hard, and for a great athlete the way he is, that is the key for him. It's more in that Cedric Mullins mode. Hit line drives. If some of them go out, great, but try to hit the ball and use your speed, hit balls in the gap, turn doubles into triples, turn singles into doubles. That's, I think, something that's been lacking from that Angels lineup. And next year, God willing, as my grandmother would like to say, God willing, we'll all be here next year. Mm-hmm. That would be a great addition to the top of the order for this Angels team, putting him, Ohtani, Trout, and Rendon all together if they could stay healthy, along with Jared Walsh. All of a sudden, the Angels lineup looks pretty darn good.
I've never been all that worried about the lineup. It would be nice if they could add, a pitcher or something like that to really help them kind of make the playoffs. But
Mike Trout. Yeah, Mike Trout's going to pitch this offseason.
Well, you do have Ohtani, obviously, but I do think I do think that this might be kind of a perfect situation for Adell, just because like any kid comes up, it doesn't matter the market. Obviously, Tampa's not a huge market, Seattle, whatever. But when Kelenic got come up, it resonated throughout baseball. When Franco got called up, it resonated through baseball, and he struggled. Adell came up, and fantasy managers in particular are really excited, and some hardcore baseball people are. But you have like a complete dominant force in baseball playing on the same team with Ohtani. So it's not exactly like people are like, I need to focus on Joe Adell right now. The pressure is a little bit off right now. He's made some major gains throughout the year in AAA. Well, it's really good to see what he started off with. And again, this is one game. Okay. I think Kelenic came up and was like good the first 2 or 3 games and then sort of went nowhere. So let's see what happens. But for now, I'm encouraged by Adell for sure.
All right. Let's talk about the downs. Sean Manaea, just last week, I finally did it. I was like, okay, Sean Manaea, you're a fantasy ace. Okay, you did it. I'm going to talk about you. And then what does he do? What does he do? Look at that. 5 runs in 4 1/3. How dare you? Against the Padres, you lose a game to Blake Snell at home? How are you going to do that? Yeah, seriously, bro. Yeah. Jordan Lyles gave up 6 runs of his own in 5 innings, but that we expected. That was nice. And Kenta Maeda, back to his old ways, 5 runs and 7 hits. So nobody can pitch anymore. Once again, tonight you actually have some cash game arms for the first time in a while, which is really nice. Also, in the standings, I don't know if this is an up or a down. It's an up for the Phillies, it's a down for the Mets, but the Phillies are knocking on the door. Taijuan Walker, another struggle yesterday. He looks like he's just out of gas. That's, to me, watching him pitch, he just looks out of gas. I think he's just hit his limit. So what do you think? Should they give him a week off and can they afford to at this point?
Who are they going to start at this point?
Don't.
Yeah,
you're a tall drink of water. You got anything left in that right arm of yours?
I've got a mean 40-mile-an-hour fastball, and a 37-mile-per-hour changeup.
You have a Chris Young build. Remember Chris
I do.
Young,
I'm telling you, the downward trajectory helps, right? Chris Young did not throw all that hard, but it looked like it was coming from the sky, so it was difficult to hit. Look, we talked about this when they made the deals. I thought the Phillies and the Braves played this correct. And for the most part, I thought the Mets kind of played it correctly too, which is the Mets couldn't just stand pat and do absolutely nothing when you were in first place, but it was not worth giving the farm up to add a guy like Kenta Maeda. And the Phillies are playing fine. The Braves are playing well right now. And again, the Mets are about to get swept by the Marlins. So without DeGrom, you have to throw Taijuan Walker out there for the Mets. For fantasy, he's probably going on my bench right now. He does. He just looks a little out of gas. I think it's a horizontal movement when I was watching. It's just not there for his fastball right now. So he's not whatever magic he had in the beginning of the season. I would bench him for fantasy purposes for sure.
I will say this, if you're in a keeper dynasty league situation and you can still make trades and you can pick him up for next year, I would do that because I think what you saw in 2020 was for real with Walker. I think what you saw in the first half of this year was for a year. I think this is just nothing left in the gas tank. I don't think this is a problem where all of a sudden he reverts back to the way he was 3 or 4 years ago and he's not a good pitcher. I think he found something here, and I think it's for real because I watched him pitch enough this year. This is just a matter of, again, he hit a wall like a runner does. They hit a wall certain times, and we knew this was coming, and this is going to be fascinating too because we're going to see this with other pitchers. Now, this is that time where you're going to start to see and look around, and maybe some of the guys that missed some time on the IL earlier in the season, maybe they're a little bit fresher right now. Like it's going to be a very strange final few months in the season. Also strange, what made its return, one of my favorite things, the Javi Baez angry walk. It happened again last night. He was angry walking to a pitcher. He popped up in the game last night against the Marlins, and then he angry walked over to the pitcher there, and Jesus Aguilar had to save him from getting into a brawl. But once again, if you want to hit somebody, you go hit him, Javi. Stop with the angry walk.
Did you see that, by the way? So I was watching and I listened to the Mets broadcast. Of course, greatest broadcast team.
It really is. And I know we're biased, but it is. It is.
No, if you have every game and you go through and you listen to that broadcast crew, it is the best right now in the game. But regardless, it sounded like what they thought is, after Baez popped up, he was mad at himself. He kind of slammed the bat against his helmet. Never a good idea. But that the pitcher didn't know what that was and just sort of like looked at him or said like, what was that? Like without like talking smack to him, and Baez took offense to it. I think Baez is just frustrated. Baez probably is like a day away from crumpling while running over the bag and just being out for the season and tearing his Achilles or something because he looks like he can barely move. So yeah, look, I think Javi Baez is just a little frustrated, as are all the Mets. Hey, before we move on, can I say 2 things, Joe?
Oh, sure.
Can I
say 3 things?
I'm only going to say 2, and then I'm done with the show. 1, happy birthday to one of our loyal listeners who turns 1 today. Nolan Mayer, Mike Mayer's little boy, is watching us. Nolan, I got a text from your dad after you were born. Thanks for watching. Happy birthday. I hope you have a wonderful day. The second thing is the long-awaited leading off merchandise has hit. I tried to put it in the comments. I guess maybe because I put a link, they dinged it. But go to fantasypros.com/shop, or if you're in Discord, just go to the baseball channel, the baseball podcast channel. The link is there. Right now it's t-shirts, all different colors with the leading off logo. It is there for purchase.
Glorious.
There will be hats. There will be more, but it is finally here. The winner of the giveaway is not here yet. I will get that to you hopefully tomorrow. But the leading off merch, we rioted. It's there. It's finally there. Kudos to Dan, who ran the shop, not me, who ran the shop and got it in there. There will be hats. There will be more. But for now, go buy yourself a t-shirt. I'm going to buy one as soon as we're done with this.
Yeah, man. That is great news. Everybody's been waiting. This is what you made it here. For those of the hardcore Peanuts and Cracker Jacks still around, the merch is here. Where is it again? FantasyPros.com/merchandise? Shop. There you go.
Not merchandise. Shop.
I like merch.
And again, but merch is cool. Merchandise. So we will but I will say this, guys. We've talked about the merch, okay? And I like it. If you're still watching us now and listening to us, you are doing great in fantasy baseball, or you for some reason like us both. If that does well, if like people actually buy the leading off merch, like that will be a big sign of our reach in the podcast. Just to be clear, because people don't buy shirts to support podcasts or buy hats to support podcasts unless they really like it. So that will be a sign to our bosses. It's true. I do have bosses, even me, who is the boss of Joe. That this is a good show. They want to invest more in it. They want to keep it going. So for sure, if you want anything, fantasypros.com/shop.
I love Wonky Penguin's idea here. We should have a Zoom party and all dress like Dan. You could wear your Fantasy Pros hat. And
all right, I tell you what. Ready? Wonky Penguin. Everybody, we're going to talk about it. If you guys buy your shirts, I will have a Zoom call with anybody who has bought a shirt. Yeah. Right? You're on that, Joe?
Look, 100%. If you get, and I'm going to get one too. If you get the leading off shirt, then I want you to take a picture of yourself in the leading off shirt. You got to tweet
or the shirt, or at least the shirt, so we can guarantee that you got it. That you got it. We'll set up a Zoom call. We'll all talk for sure.
I love it. I love it. We'll give away souvenir cup. We need leading off souvenir cups. That should be the next year thing.
All right, I'm on it.
Souvenir cups for leading off. You could sit there and have cocktails. By the way, happy birthday to Little Mayor. And that is our target audience, after all, the 5 and under crew.
I believe his name is Nolan Ryan Mayer. I'm not even kidding. Unless I'm a Mayor, if you're watching, obviously with Nolan, you can correct me. I believe his name is Nolan Ryan Mayer, which is, of course, fantastic name. Fantastic.
I saw Nolan Ryan pitch his second to last game in Camden Yards. And let me tell you, that was a magnificent baseball experience. That guy was you could still hear the mitt pop. And I was sitting in not in the field level. I was sitting up higher and then that next level. Mm-hmm. And it was incredible. So many flashbulbs, every single pitch, man. Nolan Ryan, the goods. Aaron's got a question for us. Joe and Dan, if I have to, should I drop Goldschmidt for Joey Votto in my Dynasty League?
No, Goldschmidt or Votto. Isn't that what it says?
No.
Why are you dropping either one?
I don't know. If I have to, should I drop Gold? I think he means for Votto.
Okay. That's fine. Go ahead, Joe.
No, I don't know. I mean, Joey Votto, I'm out when it comes to Joey Votto. My hatred runs deep right now, so I got nothing. What do you think?
I wouldn't. I would not make that switch in a Dynasty League. If you did it for this year, I'm fine with it. It's not a huge difference to me, but that's fine. In a Dynasty League, though, Goldschmidt's Statcast data has shown that he still has plenty left in the tank. As you surmised, Joe, at the beginning of the year.
Here we go. No, for picking up Joe Adele. Would you either of those guys for Adele in a Dynasty League? Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, especially Votto. He's 100 years old.
I'd probably drop Votto because of his age, for sure. For
Adele
in a Dynasty League. Why is he unowned in a Dynasty League?
I don't know.
This is bad. We're joining that Dynasty League.
Get somebody on the phone. Yeah.
You and me.
Lance McCullers. Lance McCullers, 6 2/3 shutout innings, 9 Ks against the Dodgers. What?
Lance McCullers, Joe. This is something that goes back to a dispute you and I had, right? Mm-hmm. Away versus home. You were like, home.
Last year, that's
fine. But you were thinking that's like what it is, right? But this year, 2.7 ERA on the road, 3.35 at home. I just don't buy into things like that for the most part. In a year like last year, fine. I get it.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's going. But was Blake still on the road last night, or was he home?
He was on the road last night. But again,
he did well.
Right. I'm just saying, as somebody who plays in the DFS world and the wagering world, these trends are very important because when you see them, you can exploit them. And then again, they don't always carry over year over year.
That's what I mean.
They carry over for a period of time enough where it gives you pause, and I think that's it. But yes, you are right to point out that all strange things come to an end, just like this show someday will. Hyunjin Ryu looking really sharp. My boy, 8 Ks against Cleveland. Ryu has found himself again. I love this. Luis Gil comes up, makes a...
I think it's Gil, by the way. I think
Luis Gil.
Gil, I believe.
Gil? I don't know. 6 shutout innings, 6 Ks against the Orioles. And then, good job, kid. Now go back to AAA. Yusei Kikuchi bounced back from a rough couple starts there. 5 Ks against the Rays. Dylan Cease. 6 shutout innings, 11 Ks. Cease was a pitcher that I was high on coming into this season, and he has obliterated my expectations. You always saw like there was something there. 2 years ago, he had a really good September, but it was against September call-ups, so you don't want to make too much out of it. Last year was a weird season. So this year, it's really great to see Dylan Cease. And once again, I keep coming back to this when I look at the White Sox overall as the team to beat because they've got 5 pitchers. Who's got 5 pitchers right now, healthy, that look good? I don't know, man. This is a really tough one for me, but I think it's the White Sox world, and we're just living in it. I really do.
I'm not. I mean, Cisa struggled for. He started off brilliantly for the first couple of months, but a 5.04 ERA in June, a 5.33 ERA in July. Now it was the Royals, I believe, right? Last night.
It was the Royals, but he had some.
He did. He had good stuff. He looked good last night. You watched
May.
that?
Yeah, some moments there.
I agree. I mean, I'm going to be interested to see here, Joe, what the White Sox do with their pitchers, just because the division is essentially put away at this point, right? 9.5 games over Cleveland. Are they going to back off some of these guys? I mean, just for fantasy purposes, are they going to? Right. So that is something to keep in mind, by the way, because I was redoing my pitching rankings. Today's trade chart day, so I was redoing the pitching rankings, and I was thinking about Lynn, and I was like, God, how high do I put Lynn up? Because you could make an argument that Lance Lynn. You can make an argument for Lance Lynn being the number one pitcher in fantasy baseball right now. You can make with Cole you can make that argument given the innings durability.
Sure.
But will they kind of back him off a little bit?
I don't think they're going to back off Lynn, because I think Lynn is a horse, and Lynn is also a guy who I think smells Cy Young, and he's the favorite right now in that race. I remember when it was a 4-1, I was kicking around like, I don't know, man. I kind of feel like Lance Lynn. Garrett Cole's not doing it for me.
Yeah.
Rodon, I think, is going to fall off the map. I think it's going to be Lynn. It feels like Lynn right now. Like the odds makers have Lynn. I think it was last time I saw it was like plus 110 or something. Like it is his award basically at this point. So I don't think that's the only reason. I think the individual glory here for Lynn, and there's probably a bonus in his contract if he wins it, I would imagine. So he's going to want, and LaRussa is definitely going to let him go do that if that's the case, because that's an old school kind of thing. You go get your money. Max Fried, 6 shutout innings, 7 Ks against the Cards. Mountcastle, 2 for 4, 10 for 17 or his last 4 games. Sam Hilliard, remember Sam Hilliard? He hasn't made this show all year. People love Sam Hilliard. I got Sam Hilliard merch everywhere. 2 for 3 with a homer, 4 ribbies. Hauser was good against the Pirates. Somehow Blake Snell found good Blake Snell, 6 Ks after everybody probably dropped him last week. Walker Buehler, 5 Ks against the Astros, but didn't get the win. And Bobola, Chris Bubich, 6 innings, 3 earned, 8 Ks against the White Sox. 4th quality start in a row for Bubby. The duds, though. Dan, did this upset you? Zach Plesac, 6 runs, no Ks against the Blue Jays yesterday.
So, fun fact, usually what happens is Mike Mayer, who is one of the hardest working dudes in show business. Mayer usually puts in a couple of notes early. As you know, Joe, I'm basically nocturnal. So I work deep into the night.
I'm up at 6. I see Mayer in the sheet somewhere around 7:30. Like I've already done the DFS stuff for there.
And I wake up like 3 seconds before this podcast, and I just come on and be like, what? I went to bed at 4 in the morning.
Yeah, but you've seen everything.
I have.
I watch up in the morning. It's
so
it's just a different pattern.
I agree. I'm not arguing with you.
It's
but
beautiful. It's a compliment.
He will put in some notes every once in a while for the early games. And there were some notes in there that's fine. And I start going through the games and I'm like, wait a minute. Why hasn't Mayer put in Zach Plesac in the down section? Because Mayer is the world's biggest Plesac defender. Look, please, you don't need to roster Zach Plesac. If you do, I don't know why anymore. You should never have rostered him. He was never a guy who was going to help you. I don't care what Mayer said. Done with Zach Plesac now and forever done.
Forever. John Lester, forever. 6 earned runs in his Cardinal debut. It's weird to see John Lester in a Cardinal uniform after all those years with the Cubs. It's just weird. Zach Davies, 7 earned runs at a K against the Rockies. We mentioned Manaea Walker and Maeda. Already disappointments. News and notes with the injuries. Matt Barnes goes on COVID-related IL. Eloy Jimenez and Rhys Hoskins both returned from their groin injuries. Yay! Adalberto Mondesi begins a rehab assignment Tuesday. Boy, that didn't take very long.
What's the lead?
Dayton Moore talks some crap. Next day, Adalberto Mondesi's on a rehab assignment.
Are you telling me that if Mondesi comes back, well, he's not going to come back just yet. Mondesi comes back in a week. He can't steal 20. He already has 1, I think. He can't steal 27 more bases over the rest of the year. Come on.
Is that the number to lead the league?
Right now, this is terrible. Whit Merrifield leads the league with 27 steals. By the way, over under Whit Merrifield for me, like 4 steals for the rest of the year. This just strikes me as Whit Merrifield's going to be like, all right, that was cool, man. I ran a lot. I didn't get traded. Like, we're just going to coast from now on.
I love Whit Merrifield. He's the most underrated asset ever.
I love him.
I'm just such a fan. If that guy played in Boston or Chicago or New York, Whit Merrifield would be such an expensive player. But because he plays in the Royals every year, he's just at incredible value. Go get him. Luis Severino makes his rehab start for Double A Somerset right around the corner from my house. Very exciting. Jacob DeGrom, elbow, confident that he'll pitch again this season. That's great. I'm glad you're confident because I'm not, Jake. Kevin Biggio plays to the 10-day IL. Spencer Howard makes Rangers debut on Thursday against the Angels. Jordan Montgomery goes on the COVID IL. Jazz Chisholm plays in the COVID IL. Why is everybody going on the COVID IL all of a sudden?
Because they all went to Florida on that. Matt Barnes, by the way, apparently he went on the COVID IL because he was feeling under the weather. They did tests. They were negative. He might be back today. So if you're worried about Matt Barnes. But look, the Yankees, they just came back from Florida. Jazz Chisholm in Florida. I really think it's because of where the cases are right now. And Jordan Montgomery tested positive like Cole, so he's out for 10 days. Jazz Chisholm, my understanding is we don't know that he's tested positive. Could be one of these things like Barnes where he comes back immediately. But Montgomery's out. But I do think, Joe, it's because they just visited the Marlins and they've had like a mini thing down there.
All right. Randy gets to 20, called George Springer. So there you go. Good job. He's tied for first now with D. Gordon Linning. Pygo has a home run yesterday, second day in a row, moves up to 17. Look at that. KONSD moves up to 16 on Tommy Pham. And Master Chief, whoa, I just knocked something over here. Master Chief Brill.
Down.
Okay, I'm so excited about the run calls.
Not a big deal. We're not making them.
All right. Well, yeah, that's the problem.
All right.
Master Chief Brill 11 called their first home run. Their second day. Very good. Freddie Freeman. Well done. That means, once again, the leaderboard for the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks and home run calls. Randy at 20, D. Gordon Liddy 20, Wonky Penguin and myself stuck at 18. So
Joe, over under 1,000 correct home run calls for the year in this contest for the end by the end of the season. 685 right now.
Wow, we're almost at 7. I was like, we're only at 6, right? Wow, we're almost at 7.
685 over 1,000. What do you think, guys? I'll keep this going, by the way, throughout the year, no matter what.
I'm gonna go under, but it wouldn't shock me.
I'm going over. Over.
All right.
Over 1,000. Let's go.
I love it. I love your excitement. I also love your excitement about the Lawnmower 4.0, the greatest grooming tool in the history of grooming tools. It's got the longest battery life ever, the 1 through 4 guard lengths, the incredible 4K LED light, which actually the battery and the light actually power my whole home studio here, which is amazing. So if you're watching us on YouTube, everything is clicked into an adapter. It's all hooked up. The lawnmower turns on, powers this. Sometimes if the power goes out in the house, I just turn on the lawnmower. You don't need a generator. You need the Lawnmower 4.0 because that generates all the awesome grooming that you'll need. And of course, with the code leading off, that's how you get it. 20% off, free shipping can be yours. Just go to manscaped.com, use that code leading off, get your 20% off and your free shipping. Your balls will thank you. Dan Harris, are you ready to talk a little DFS right now, my friend?
Always, baby. Let's go.
All right. The good chalk tonight is the White Sox. Once again, Lucas Giolito on the mound, 9.2 on FanDuel, very reasonable. 10.6 on DK, okay. Shohei Ohtani is going to take the mound. He's 10.7 on FanDuel. Max Scherzer makes his Dodger Blue debut. 10.5 for him, but 9.1 over on DK. He's facing the Astros tonight. And then Kevin Gossman against the lowly Arizona Diamondbacks at 10K. So what are your thoughts on these cash game arms tonight?
I'm probably going Giolito against the Royals right now, who just... They strike me as a little disinterested in baseball.
Benintendi's hurt too. That's another guy. Like everyday players.
The lineup isn't good. I mean, look, I'm sure I don't fear the Astros right now with Max Scherzer on the mound, probably pumped up can be, making his first start with the Dodgers. But I think for me, Giolito just strikes me overall as a little safer, mostly because of the matchup. But the White Sox also are just kind of rolling. Eloy came back from the groin injury, as you mentioned. Like their lineup is solid. He's probably where I'm going for my cash game lineup.
I actually think it's a today too where you take the cash game lineups and you throw them into the tournaments because I agree, love the tournament arms. Jamison Tyon is at 8K, 10.2. That's a 2.2K difference site to site on the pitcher. It's weird. If you want to go Tyon against Matt Harvey, who's back in New York tonight starting in Yankee Stadium.
Mayor's going with Harvey. He loves the Matt Harvey stats.
Yeah, Matt Harvey in Yankee Stadium. I don't care how many quality starts he had in a row. I'm not going anywhere near it. He's like 5K, I think, on one of the sites. I can't remember which one. It's like, no, I'm just not doing it. Carlos Carrasco, 8.2, 8.5 against the Marlins. The Mets are just in a bad place right now. Doesn't feel good, so I'm going to stay away from that one. Let's pick a side. Eduardo Rodriguez, Casey Mize. You want to get in on this, or you want to run away?
Look, I don't – this is not good because I don't have, like, a great justification for it. But I kind of feel like Eduardo's going to step up right here. He had the weird thing where he had the migraines and he pitched poorly, and you never know what he's going to do on any given day. But I kind of just feel right now like the Red Sox kind of need him to step up. The Red Sox have been a little cold. They lost yesterday, obviously. They need a big game from the guy right now. So I might be willing to go with Eduardo. But again, this is like a one entry in a tournament, and that's it. That I kind of feel, and I don't really have a great justification. But picking aside, I will go with Eduardo.
Rafael Devers striking out with the out looking to end the game yesterday.
It's a great pitch by
it was a really good pitch by Soto there. He really just painted the corner. Eduardo Rodriguez, I think it's 7.6 on FanDuel as your standalone cash game arm. I can get behind. that.
Cash game arm you're going.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's a GPP. Did I say cash? My apologies. Yes, Thank you, Dan. I got so excited again.
I listened. You see, I listened.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Oh boy.
I'm so scared.
Somebody get a taser. Go ahead. We need an automatic. Show. I need like a buzz. I need like a buzz to be like Shock Joe back into.
It's not even a baseball show. It's just a morning show at this point. True. That's all this is, guys. This is it. But no, the reason why Eduardo Rodriguez is because of all the things you said in tournaments tonight. He's cheap. The Red Sox coming off a loss. He's been kind of volatile. That's perfect. Because if he strikes out 7 guys and gets a W tonight at 7.6 and you get some of the hitting rate, that is going to hit some pay lines in a significant way. We're talking like a 3-4x value kind of way. So that's what you're looking for. Lineup builders you're looking for, I've got them for you. But first, little stack action. Yankees, White Sox, Braves. Those are the 3 I like the most tonight. And if you want a game stack, Cleveland and Toronto. Ain't nothing wrong with that because I think it's going to be some runs there, courtesy of our good friend Mats and whoever the hell the Indians try to throw out there tonight. Alex Dickerson on FanDuel, 2.1. Corey Dickerson on FanDuel, 2.0. Anyone named Dickerson on FanDuel is a lineup builder tonight. Michael Conforto, also a lineup builder, 2.6. Joe Adell, free square, 2K. Joe Adell, pair him with Giolito, pair him with Scherzer. You could probably get pretty much anything you want. And Jarren Duran at 2.5. Also looking around on DK, in the middle of the order for the Baltimore Orioles on DK, Anthony Santander, 2K. And I know it hasn't been a great season for him, but in the middle of the order at Yankee Stadium, I'm going to take a shot at 2K on DK, for God's sakes. Robbie Grossman, 2.9. Joe Adell, guess what? Free square on DK also. Nobody's caught up. It's so funny how they don't do this immediately the next day. It's like a couple days ahead. It takes them a while. 2K for Joe Adell. Try it. You might like it. Texas, they're terrible. Michael Conforto's cheap on DK too, 3.2. On DK, also Andrew Vaughn, who went yard last night, 3K. And just Alex Dickerson, not Corey, on DK. So you get Alex Dickerson on both, but only Corey Dickerson on the FanDuel. I'm going with the Franimal tonight. Franmil Reyes, let's go, against Steven Matz. I want to see a nice big fat home run from the Franimal, and you're staying in that game as well, I see.
I'm going to go a little chalky here with Vladdy. I don't know if I've picked Vladdy on the show for quite a while. I'm sure I have at some point, but let's go. Let's go with Vladdy. Let's go against Mejia. Let's hit a home.
Yeah, I don't like D. Gordon Liddy and Randy separating from the pack. I want to get up to that 19. I want to get back up there. But look, it's is great. And again, our community here has been so awesome. The leading off community and the discussions in Discord have been so much fun. So if you haven't already, get in there, fantasypros.com/chat. Also, we will do our review reading later in the week, but now the Bieber giveaway is done. We'll announce that at some point in time.
Yep.
Are we giving away some leading off merch this year? Since obviously the shop is now open for business, are we giving that away in August?
Yeah, sure. We'll give away leading off merch. Yeah, why not? Let's find my Bieber winner, and then let's give away some leading off merch for sure. That doesn't mean you shouldn't go out there and buy it and support the show. Obviously.
And where can you go support the show? The show that's been there for you every day when Dan's at his mom's house or Tuma or Mayor stepping in.
That's true.
If there's camp drop-offs or not, we're here. I mean, think about all the support we've given you. We're here every day. You buy a shirt. It's a little
I think I'm going red, by the way. I just want everybody to know that. I think I'm going with the red.
It's very strong. It's a very powerful color.
Very good. Oh, wait. You know what? It's funny, by the way. I just went there, and what's new? And it does look like they may have, if you go there, it may not be there at the very moment because I think they were just like taking it off for 20 minutes just to redesign everything like that. I think I'm going red though. Oh no, there it is. I got it. Forget it. It's right there. Got it. I think I'm going red. You go to fantasypros.com/shop. We have 15 different colors. Okay. Whatever color you want.
Is that it? And
15.
Wonky Penguin wants to know, how long do we have to wait for the hats?
The hats are imminent. Coming. Look, all I'll say this is we had somebody new take over the store just because moving things around, football season starting, and that person basically said, "I'm on it, Dan. I've got it. I'll get it up there." Got it up there basically as fast as he could.
Tremendous.
He said, "Hats are next." I said, "Fantastic." So
merchandising, leading off the breakfast cereal, leading off the flamethrower.
We'll see you at the sequel, leading off to the search for more money. So these are just baseball jokes that Joe and I are just doing on a podcast because we run this podcast. We can do whatever we want.
Dan, final thoughts?
No, I don't have any. I'm not doing well with the Mets. I really am struggling on a personal level. But I'm so happy about the shirts that it kind of balances it out. So that's
once
all
again, Dan says no, and then he has a thought. I don't know why you just don't say what's on your mind. That's all you do for a half hour, and then at the end, I ask you your final thought. You're like, I got nothing. Wait,
I've got nothing. I've got nothing. All I know is there are Pulp Fiction references. There are Saved by the Bell references in the chat.
Yeah,
I love this audience. It's the best. The best.
And yeah, we had all of those yesterday. We had a Harry Potter reference, which people seem to love.
Yeah,
threw that in there, and who knows what tomorrow will bring? But hopefully, you'll be here with us as the story of the game goes on. For Dinger Dan Harris, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time.